Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope all of you are doing good. We've already read this chapter in the class, unit number 9. This is a brief revision of this topic, the struggle for independence. In this chapter, we are going to read about different political groups that were formed in the subcontinent, like Indian National Congress and All India Muslim League. And we are also going to learn few things about the famous leaders, Sayyid Ahmed Khan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Mohandas Gandhi, and Jawaharlal Nehru. We also read about the Lucknow meeting in 1916, Amritsar Massacre, and roundtable conferences in London in the then independence of Pakistan. Sayyid Ahmed Khan. Sayyid Ahmed Khan was a judge, a reformer, and an educator. After the War of Independence, he saw no future for the Muslims of India if they turned their backs on the Western world and modern sciences. He said that Muslims should stay friendly with the British because they had very little power alone. He told the Muslims to learn all they could from the British schools because education is very important. He said Muslims and Hindus would not be able to live together in peace in one country if British left. Sayyid Ahmed Khan was the founder of Aligarh Muslim University in Uttar Pradesh as well, and he also built many schools. New political groups. After the War of Independence, there were many new political groups formed in the subcontinent. The British realized that they must let the people of the subcontinent take more part in the government. A British official started the Indian National Congress in 1885. Indian belongings to all religions and some British people joined the Congress. After some time, some Muslims said that Congress favored the Hindus and was unfair towards the Muslims. So they decided to separate in 1906 and formed All India Muslim League. Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Muhammad Ali Jinnah was born in Karachi in 1876. He went to London to train as a lawyer. At first, he joined Congress, but later decided to join All India Muslim League, as there were more Hindus in the Congress, and Congress was unfair towards the Muslims. He became the president of Muslim League, and people called him Qaid-e-Azam, the great leader. Mohandas Gandhi. Mohandas Gandhi was from Porbandar. Like Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he also studied law in the London. After working in South Africa, he came back to India in 1915. He led the poor workers in peaceful protest to get better pay and better treatment at work. Lucknow meeting in 1916. Congress and Muslim League had an important meeting at Lucknow in 1916. In this meeting, it was decided that Muslims should have separate elections. In this picture, you can see Qaid-e-Azam in the front row center presided over the joint meeting held at Lucknow in 1916. Amritsar Massacre. Muslims and Hindu leaders asked the British to give them more power in their own government. The British made a few changes but did not let the people here govern themselves. So the people started to meet to protest about this, and Congress and Muslim League had meetings about it. Then British government banned the protest meeting. In 1919, a crowd of Muslims and Hindus met at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. The British general sent the soldiers to close the only entrance and to shoot the people. They killed hundreds of people, men, women, and children. After that, more and more people wanted the British to stop ruling the subcontinent. In this picture, you can see Amritsar monument built in the memory of people killed at Jallianwala Bagh. Meetings and conferences. In 1928, the British had meetings to decide how India should be governed. The Indian National Congress said that India should have home rule. They also wanted no more separate election for the Muslims. But Muslim League thought their wishes would not become because there were so many more Hindus in the subcontinent. Then the British government had roundtable conferences in London to decide how to govern India. In 1935, British government separated Burma and Eden from India. It also separated Sindh from the Bombay Presidency and made Bihar and Orissa into separate provinces. A new nation. Politicians in the subcontinent discussed having two nations, one mainly for the Muslims and another mainly for the Hindus. Ilham Iqbal, the poet and the politician, he said, a separate Muslim nation is the only way for a peaceful India and to save Muslims from being overpowered by non-Muslims. The Muslims of Northwest India and the Bengal can be a nation with its own government, just like other nations. Muhammad Ali Jinnah said, Hindus and Muslims cannot become one nation. They have different ways of life and different religions. Hindus would overshadow Muslims. Independence for Pakistan. In 1940s, there were many protests about the British rule of India and whether there should be two nations. When Pakistan became a nation in 1947, Jinnah was the first Governor General of Pakistan. Many Hindus and Sikhs from the Pakistan moved to India and many Muslims from India came to Pakistan because of the religious majority. Hundreds of thousands died in the fighting that began. This is all about this chapter. Thank you very much.